It's Mark Husson's Astrology Hour. Time for you to expect something wonderful.
Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome. It's Mark Husson. This is Mark's Astrology Hour coming to you live on Monday, October 27th at exactly 8 a.m. Pacific time, 11 a.m. on the East Coast. How you doing? I got my only Halloween shirt on. I did it for today's moment video too, but yeah, I was thinking like I should wear something more Halloween-y. And so this was like perfect. So I hope you guys are doing well, ready for the big week ahead. It is a Capricorn moon, so we got to sort of pretend there's a lot of fun in the space, right? No, we can actually not have to pretend. I'm going to take a minute and greet you in the room and say hey to everybody. Thank you all for being here. It's so lovely. Diana and Liz. Oh, I have so many things to tell you about. Jackpot's in the house. How you doing? Shelly, thanks for being here. Linny, always good to see you. Listening, she said, with great joy. Of course you are, because that's who you are. Terry Campbell's in the house. Hi, Terry. Christine Dumaurier, thank you so much for being here. Christine, as you may know, does our numerological monthlies. Find it. And you guys, Christine, feel free to put the links. You guys, put any link you want in my chat room, honestly. Let people know who you are. I mean, I don't have a lot of ways of giving back to you except just to sort of do this. So thank you so much for all that you do. Nadine, thanks for being here. She said, what a special, magical, and intensive time it is. Yes, you are so right. Hi, Lori. Thanks for coming. You're always so happy. It's so nice to see you. Hey, Greg. Good morning. Good to have you here. Carla, thanks for coming. Renee and Jennifer. Truly, she's happy to be here, and able to tune in. Went to a psychic fair this weekend with a girlfriend and was told that she was a hot mess. Luckily, she didn't pay for it. Good for you. I mean, that's like some solid advice I would take. No, I'm teasing. Hi, Maureen. Thanks for being here. Gypsy, Erica, your show was amazing again, as usual. And I got to see your video of you having a blast dancing. You are incredible. Thanks for being here with me. We are getting ready for a full moon next week. So you guys know the moon's getting lighter, which is so much easier to deal with than when the moon is heading toward new, but I actually like the new moons a little better. I'll tell you why. Hi, Sarah. Thanks for coming. Arlene and Esther, thank you so much for being here. You're always so kind. Hi, Quelly. Renee, you guys, thank you. Okay, so I want to talk to you real quick, just a little business. The memberships are up. On the memberships, I did some posts. I posted my Spotify. I mean, I'm like opening up to you guys. I am a Scorpio rising, Saturn there, moon there. I don't open up this stuff to anybody, but you guys have at it. I want you to listen. I want you to have Mark's mix so you know what a nerd I am. And also, I took a little tour of Halloween, showed you the trick-or-treating that John has set up. And that's why I kept like going, I don't know what is all this stuff. It's because he goes crazy because he feels an obligation. And, you know, he has a Saturn-Mercury conjunction. I'm only going to say this for you Saturn-Mercury people. When Saturn is close to Mercury in your chart, you get very serious. And you make these stories very logical and real. And he's the most logical person you ever want to meet. He's also going to be the first perk I give members at an insane discount. Now, John is a psychological astrologer, been doing it for over 40 years. He is sought out by psychologists all over the world. He is a phenomenal way of looking at the chart through the lens of your choice to be here and who your parents were and how they affected you. And so that perk's going to go up soon. And then I'm going to talk to my staff at 12listen.com about everybody participating in the perks. So being a member will have value, like a lot of value soon. So it's not very expensive. I'm not asking you to spend any money, but if you are drawn to be a part of the inner circle, I think it's $3. Come take a look. And also, you just hit join. It's like, so when you go to YouTube, youtube.com/@mhastrology. It's another /join, or just look for the join button if you want. And if you don't, I don't even notice. I'm not looking at that. I'm looking at maybe just being there for you in every way I can. I'm hoping to do more live streams with you. I'm going to start meeting with my staff as well to have lives that aren't just on Monday, so we can actually talk and exchange. And I'm getting it all set up. I'm excited. I'm dedicated. I'm motivated, and you all are the reason. So thank you for all you do, and thanks for your love and support. Let's talk about what's going on. People are dying. Okay, June Lockhart died. Okay, y'all know who she was 100 years old, and I thought I'd run her chart because I learned a few things looking her up, because I thought, we think of her as like maybe those of us who remember Lassie's mom, but even a bigger member think of her as Mrs. Robinson from Lost in Space. I mean, she was kind of like my mommy. I loved her. I loved June. She was like, and she portrayed it perfectly. Let's take a quick peek at her chart and maybe understand a little bit why. And I will peek back in, you guys. Oh, your solar return was an hour ago? Dia! Oh my God! Oh my God, a blast from the past. So good to see you. Happy birthday, girl. I don't know if you're still DJing, but she was like a big deal here in Colorado on KBCO. Welcome, Dia. Good to have you here. You guys, I will check the room in a minute to get more of you that I don't want any of you to feel ignored. Carolyn, thank you so much for being here. Carolyn Ferris, everybody. All right. Let's take a look at June. I want to show you some things that I thought were really cool, because people ask me all the time about death, right? Okay, so let's talk about. Now, I don't believe you can predict death in astrology, and I don't respect anybody who tries to. Okay. Now, I'm not saying if you call and you have a 110-year-old grandmother and you want to know maybe a time period that might be a transit that might activate a certain choice for her. I mean, you can look at that. I'm not judging that. I'm judging if you're young and somebody goes, when am I going to die? And astrologer goes, I can tell you, they're lying to you. Okay. They can't. Now, why is June's chart blank? Because my new thing with y'all is to turn it on slowly and easy so you understand it better. Okay. Let me bring in, okay, so hang on with me 1 second, because this stuff gets funny for me with where everything goes when I'm ready to start with you. Hold on 1 second. Let me get these. Okay, there we are. All right, you ready? I'm going to turn the sun on. Oh, that's the transit sun. Hold on. I'm going to turn the sun on. You ready? Boom. What is she? She's a Cancer. Anybody surprised she played the mama of mamas? Okay, I mean, like Lassie's mommy. Who didn't want Lassie's mommy? She never raised her voice. I mean, compared to my mom and her, my mom, I mean, she should wear some horns now. I don't know. My mama was not June Lockhart. Maybe nobody's mama was June Lockhart, She had a Leo moon. That's interesting. June Lockhart had a Leo moon. So there we go. Let's do one thing at a time. Where's her Mercury? The next planet out. Bam! Mercury in Cancer. So she knew how to talk that Cancerian sweetness, right? Cancer's the cardinal sign of water. Okay, I'm not in the picture, so you can't see me emphasizing. The cardinal sign of water, meaning that they can move emotional energy and they know how to do it. So she had some good starts. Now, she had acting parents, but we'll get into that in a minute. There's Venus in Cancer. What else she have? My goodness. Oh my goodness, you have Mars in Cancer. At what degree? 29. What do we know about 29 degrees Mars in Cancer? Mars in Cancer, 29 degrees. That's the last degree of a sign, 29. So if that's the last degree, that means it's packed. It is potent. Look at all that Cancer. That's insane. Almost had the moon there, really. Okay, she was an only child. There's Jupiter. What's special about this Jupiter? Oh, I'm glad you're here, Christina. Thanks for putting your link, Christine. Okay, so this Jupiter in Capricorn, exactly opposite all that Cancer, especially the Venus. Whenever you see a Jupiter connection in a chart, you know that person's got a little bit of luck going for them, right? And she did have some good breaks. So let me just fill it in. She had Saturn in Scorpio. My sister, she had this. Look at all the water in this woman. Uranus and Pisces. Now, the moon is next to Neptune here, meaning it whenever a planet Whichever planet is furthest out when they're close together like this, the one furthest out wins. Okay, that is the case. So Neptune wins, meaning that moon is now influenced by Neptune, making it more of a Pisces moon. This woman was all water. Okay, I mean, like, this is like a lot of water in a chart. And there, Pluto, look at that. Pluto in Cancer. The woman was packed up. Okay, now let's take a look at what happened when she died on the 23rd. Okay, so I'm going to put a wheel around her. And hey, Christy, thanks for being in the room. I'm putting a wheel around June. And this is just I wanted to show you. So if you were curious about death charts and what happens when somebody dies, well, it's fun to look at the date they died, because we get a little window into, what was going on? She was 100 now, so nobody was surprised at the death. But look at this. This is outside today. This was on the day she died. I'm blinking it. That's Jupiter in Cancer. Like, it's a lovely aspect. It's Jupiter, and it was a Jupiter opposition. It's Jupiter trine Uranus. So to me, that says it all right there. To me, what that says is a lovely transition. She had a window of opportunity here with Uranus, freedom. She decided to be free. And that pretty much, that Jupiter, now you will find Jupiter. Okay, I'm going to bring this home a little bit. Let me bring myself in the picture so y'all can be scared and not fall asleep. So hold on. All right. Make sure that she's still on top. There we go. All right. There you all are. So when we look at death, when we look at somebody's like time period in life, we don't know. No planet represents death. Jupiter, everybody's like, Pluto's death, and there's a death card in the tarot and all that stuff. Yeah, that's fine. But that's not what true death is. Pluto's death is going to the underworld, is like seeing below the surface, killing the structure that you thought was there. If you've ever had a Pluto transit, and I can tell you, if you're a Virgo, a Libra, a Scorpio, a Sag, a Capricorn, you had a Pluto transit. Aquarius, your time. In the next 14 years, y'all are getting the Pluto transit. What happens under a Pluto transit? It's the most amazing thing that could happen to anybody. It's an opening that occurs. It's a reality. It's an aha. It's a brilliance. It's a drilling into who you are and looking at things that might have once scared you and saying, yeah, that ain't so bad. It's being a Scorpio. It's living life as a Scorpio. Aquarians don't like that too much, right? Aquarians like to be in their mind. They like everything ordered. It's a fixed air sign. They want everything like this is how the world is. This is how I see it. This is and this is incongruent with how I see it, so it gets rejected. Now, you know that, see, when Aquarians, so it's going to sound like I'm dissing you Aquarians for a minute, but I love you. I don't diss you. But we have to look at our stuff sometimes. You all get locked in an idea. And that idea is, this is how the world is. And these are the good people, and these are the bad people, and this is how it is, period, case closed. Now, you might, for example, be the kind of Aquarian that says everyone has a right to be free. Everyone has a right to believe and be a humanitarian. Everyone has a right to their own opinion. But most of you, when you run your house, are ruthless. You're dictatorial. You don't like a mess. You don't like things put away. You like things put away in a certain way. So when you're in your personal world, all of a sudden human rights look a little vague and humanitarian and not personal, which is why we say Aquarians love humanity and hate humans. I love that phrase so much. All right, now, not to diss you, I love Aquarians. I'm a Sun-Uranus conjunction. I'm an honorary Aquarian. I get it. And people would say the same about me. I talk big, I'm nice, I'm loving, but maybe if you live with me, it would be horrible. I don't think so, though, but you know, I mean, it's hard to be at one package, beautiful, kind, loving, smart, all in one package. Y'all try to live with that. It's hard. Now, having said all that, the idea is, as the moon goes through each one of these things that we're going through, we get a mini experience of what it's like. Now, Pluto is like the moon, only it's moving a lot slower. So everybody that is a fixed sign or has a lot of fixed energy in them, that would be Aquarians, Scorpios, Tauruses, Leos. Y'all are experiencing this. Yes, Uranus in the first house, especially if it's close to the ascendant, is an honorary Aquarian. Absolutely. If you have Uranus close to anything, like see how this moon and Neptune are so close together in her chart? You probably can't see that very clearly, but see how it's very like they're close. If this was Uranus in your moon, you're an honorary Aquarius moon. Okay? So there's a lot of ways to make up your energies of a sign, okay? And so the transit, when the transit comes along, it's and where is Pluto right now? So let's bring up today's chart, shall we? Thank you, June. Rest in peace, my girl. You were such a sweetheart. At least it looked like you were a sweetheart. You were my mommy. you were my mommy wannabe. Okay, we're gonna put the current transits in, and this time I will fill them in. Let me put them in one at a time, though, like I usually do. Okay, I'm throwing in. Okay, we're putting in Pluto. I like doing this with you, where we do it one at a time. This is Pluto in Aquarius. It's at 1. It just went in. So we're just getting started. So if you're born early Aquarius, like if you were in January 22nd, 23rd, this is around your time. If you are early Scorpio, around, let's say, October 22nd, 23rd, this is your time. You're having that Pluto effect. See what I mean? Oh, look, see my gesticulation created fireworks. All right. So, Taurus, too, if you were born in early April 22nd, 23rd, 24th, you're having this effect. And if you are, and Tauruses are like, leave me the hell alone, please. I've had enough. Tauruses have been through it. They've had Uranus has been in Taurus. Let me put Uranus on the screen. Uranus has been in Taurus for 14 years. Wait a minute. Is it 14 or 7? It's 7. So now, see, Uranus just went into Gemini. Tauruses are like, leave me alone. I'm not sure. I got to look. I think it goes back into Taurus one last time. But Scorpios too. So if you're a Scorpio, a Taurus, a Leo, if you were born in early the 22nd, 23rd, 24th of July, you've got this Pluto thing happening as well. Well, what's the Pluto thing happening? What it's doing is it's making a square, a 90-degree angle to your sun. And there is this thing that looks like I'm being asked to do something I don't want to do. And that ask could be by circumstance. It could be by people around you. It could be by inner guilt. It's up to you to look at what that is. But let me tell you something. It isn't going to last that long. It's a push-pull. It's an energy. But it's Aquarians and Leos that are the ones that are going to have this direct hit. So if you're born into like I said, the 22nd, 23rd, 24th of January, around there, it could be even the 19th, early January, like early mid-January, that Pluto hits you, it changes you. So what happens? Those of you that are Capricorns, y'all all went through this already over the past 12 years. And those of you that are born later in Capricorn, like the 18th of January, the 17th, 18th of January, around there, you just had it happen. And it's a pulling in. You feel like, whoa, I am being forced to take a look. You become a Scorpio. Pluto changes everything into its scorpionic roots. And what's being a Scorpio? You went below the surface. You looked inside. You uncovered things in your life that are important to uncover so you could be free. And that's the purpose of these transits, to free you up. They don't do it to you. They are showing you what's happening in your inner clock that's happening already. They're not doing it to you. So this is a metaphor of what you're experiencing, and Pluto's a big one. Now, who else is being affected? Well, every air sign from Libra to Gemini to Aquarius is being affected now by this Pluto transit, especially again if you're born in those early, for Libra, the birthday would be September 22nd, 19, 20, 122, that little window when the moon goes into Libra. You're experiencing an uplift. You hopefully are experiencing a, wow, I'm starting to feel, okay, whatever that is, maybe an empowerment. Oh, it goes back into Taurus. I knew Terry would tell me. It goes back into Taurus on November 7th until April, you guys. Thanks, Terry. Thank you for hooking me up. So you Tauruses that are born late, like late Taurus, so it'd be like May 16, 17, 18, 19. You guys born in there, you're having one more Uranus transit, which is great. That transit, the Uranus is uplifting. It'll quicken things up a little bit for you. Thank you, Patricia. Okay, so, you guys, one other thing for the perks, because you mentioned the shirt. YouTube gave me this t-shirt company that I get my shirts from, T Republic. They are taking my artwork and letting me have a store. The prices, this shirt is the like super heavy cotton, like $14. So I'll soon be opening that too, just for fun. And none of it means anything to me, except I'm not doing it for the money. I'm doing it I finally get a place to throw all this artwork that I've been doing for y'all forever up, and it's AI generated. Forgive me, artists. I still respect you and I will always use your art, but it's a place, another thing that we're offering perky wise, okay, for the perks, for becoming a member. And I'm still working with John on the thing, so you guys will have access to John at a reduced rate, members only, and we're only going to do it for a short period of time because I get to be his manager and get to sort of tell him when and what. I get to beat him up. It's so much fun. No, I'm teasing. Nobody tells John what to do. All right. But we're going to limit it. I don't want we're just going to open it for a small window. So please consider being a member, even just for the perk, that little perk. All right. Now, thank you, Laura. That's very sweet of you. Yay. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. So, we're going to take care of all that, and I'll keep you all posted in posts for all the members. You all get my private notes. Now, so we know that air signs are getting heavy lifted support. Let me put Venus on the screen here. Venus is in Libra. Look at this triangle here. I sent you in the email. Please get on the mailing list at 12house.com, 12house.com. Just get on the mailing list. We don't abuse you. You ought to know that by now. We don't do anything. I don't sell them. I don't care. I just want to be able to get to you. That's all. That's all that happens. And that's like with the gratitude board too at 12listen. Now, this Venus is the third leg of air. So you air signs, I'd like to hear how y'all doing. Because it seems like y'all are in a good space. Even though you never admit it, you hate admitting it, because if you admit it, people will lock you in. Air signs don't like to be locked into anything. So if you ask an air sign how they're doing, ask a Gemini how they're doing. They like pretty good, unless pretty good means they lose something. You know what I mean? So air signs, always keeping that balance going, always aware of what's happening up here. But y'all are in a good place. I don't think there's a lot to complain about. The momentum's going the way you want it to. There is a little caveat with one planet, Chiron. It's a caveat in the sense of Chiron is unearthing some things for you air signs. Especially if you're an Aries, if you're a Libra, it's unearthing things a little bit. It's telling us there's a little wound. But what's funny about this time period, it's unearthing it for everybody. I won't go into the details. You get too many details. But you guys, if you're dealing with, like, I had it this morning, I woke up and I had a little churning in my head about my family of bloodline, because I saw my cousin had done a post with photography, and I was thinking how different I am now. I used to not like him. Now I think I actually do like him, but I don't know. I'm different. And I feel like I'm looking at this going, and one thing that made it possible for me to be different was to unhook from family 100%, zero excuses, no family. I got to unhook long enough to remove any possibility that anyone has any guilt that they can manipulate me with or hurt me with. And I got to review. And it's a beautiful thing for me. It was my path. Sun-Uranus conjunction. Don't think it's everybody's path. But I woke up this morning reviewing, like I always do. And I realized that some of the review, because there's people, y'all have that jury, some of y'all have that jury in your head that consists of old family, people that hated you, and they're watching going, I knew, that's exactly, he's being exactly the asshole that I thought he was going to be. that kind of thing. Well, that happens, right? So I got to look at it today as, oh my gosh, it's like I finally segmented it enough to see it's literally a living and breathing part of me, but it's not. I can turn the volume down. Like I went, okay, Roger. And it's a great feeling, but it happened over time because I got a chance to sort of say, you have no leverage anymore. There's nothing. The leverage is the only word I can think of. But if you're hooked into an inheritance, if you're hooked into they have something you need to get from them, if there's some psychological thing you need, some approval thing you need, you're always going to have that hook. But when you get to a point where you can unhook from that, when you don't need it, and now the people that hook me, I want the hook. Like I want the hook from the people that I love. So that I can never disappoint them or never feel like I'm disappointing them because I care about them. And it's a choice. It's not a choice because we came out of the same womb kind of thing, right? It's a choice because this is what to me love looks like, or this is what to me friendship looks like. So that matters, and that's kind of fun. And that's the Chiron thing that's happening for everybody right now. Now, you don't have to understand Chiron or what I'm saying or the words. You just have to know that right now, if you're dealing with somebody from your past, if you're dealing with an issue or a wound from your past, give it some air, give it some observation, note it, and be okay. Like, let it go. You don't have to do anything. There's nothing required here to do. Astrology is just a map reflecting back some of who we are and what we're up to. Let's take a look now. Let's add a few more of the planets in to see what is going on, because we have this Capricorn moon today. So if you feel the sobriety in the room, that word cracks me up. It is so sobering. I mean, Capricorns usually get offended at the idea. We're not all that strict. Capricorns are wild and loose. They are crazy. Don't let them fool you about this total responsibility thing. They're drama queen. Everything that you can think of Capricorn that we used to think is just Saturn and it's strict. Because they lived a life where everything was serious. They already dealt with it. They just need a way to get us to realize it because they're used to it. They would underplay everything if they could. So they've learned to over dramatize. If you've ever seen a Capricorn that was over dramatic and you go, you're not acting like a Capricorn, well, you're wrong because they are. All right. Mercury is in the final stages of Scorpio. This is huge. Because it's going to change signs tomorrow, I believe. It's Wednesday. It changes at 4 a.m. on Wednesday. We have one more day of Mercury at 29 degrees of Scorpio. And let me tell you something. What do we know about 29? I just said it earlier. 29 degrees of any sign is the most intense of the signs. So today, it'll be little tomorrow. Mercury will go at 29 Scorpio, the very last degree. And I'm telling you, y'all need to be ready for the intensity. And it could be, I have no idea how it might show up for you specifically, but please pay mind to it. Just pay attention. And how will it show up? Okay, let's say that you get, I have to take a sip of this, you guys. When I was doing my gaming videos, which I have stopped doing for YouTube purposes because I'm dedicating everything to you, I was told about mouth noises and how it's a real thing, and my microphone picks up everything. So I apologize in advance if I ever go unconscious on you. And I need to hit that mute button a little more frequently. Now, 29, how it might show up. Mercury is our minds, how we perceive the world. If it's in Scorpio, you're already looking below the surface of things. How does that look when you look below the surface of things? Conspiracy theories abound. You're going to hear a lot of them. It's going to be up to you to determine true or not, or if you want to go down any rabbit holes. That's your business, okay? I don't like rabbit holes. I don't like them. I love rabbits. They're holes I can live without. Now, if you start hearing something that sounds a little suspicious and it sort of draws you down a path, just be aware that you're experiencing the last degree of Mercury in Scorpio. And this is tomorrow and today, because these are pretty intense times. And make a choice if you want to go down that rabbit hole. And that's all that it requires. You to go, this is a choice. Do I want to use it or not? This is a choice. Okay, I'm going to go down that hole. Let's do it. and go. And that's fine. That observer, to me, saves everything and makes it all okay, because you at least know, okay, I made this choice, I'll pull back out of it. What else is happening is that this Mercury is exactly opposite this Uranus. So we could get news, surprising news, sudden news, blown up news, and because they're going to be opposite each other, and it could trip you up because Uranus is full of surprises. It's not always honest, it's not always dishonest, but it's like, wow, I think what we're doing. So you have Mercury in Scorpio that is saying, hold on to the truth, go deep. And Uranus going, blow it up. Here's another thing that threw you in left field. So all that stuff could make you a little crazy. That's all. And I know my ship already sailed on that point. But if you get a little point where you're hearing a lot of stuff and it's distracting, could you think about taking a breath until Wednesday? And like, let's the Mercury in Sag lighten us up a little bit. Because when it goes into Sag, we're still going to have that Uranian energy. And it can be a little overwhelming, you guys. If you tend to be bipolar, and I know a lot of bipolar people, I was in charge of the bipolar division at the mental health center during my internship in college. Okay. That's a lot of words. So I know bipolar disorder. Okay. Manic depression. And this, if you are prone to that, and I'm not afraid of that, and I hope you all aren't either. I don't judge it. If you're manic, if you have a manic episode, it's very obvious to tell people who are, in my opinion. But if you are, this is where you could have one of those. And so be extra careful. If you're on medication, stay on your meds, but don't get fooled. Because one of the things about manic episodes is we tend to, that people believe 1,000,000% what they're experiencing. And they may not be wrong, but it's usually way overblown and way more optimistic. And the more it goes like this, the more it is going to end up down here. So you want to stay level as possible. Please do that for yourselves tomorrow. I don't care if you've been diagnosed manic, if you don't, it doesn't relate to any of it. If you start getting a little overly optimistic and overpumped, just remember what goes up must come down. All right. So go easy, find the middle ground in things. You could literally tell yourself, let me put this on hold for a couple of days. I'll look at it in a few days, because that's what I'm suggesting. Let me see how y'all are doing. Thank you, Jackpot. You're so sweet. Yes, I love rabbits. There are holes I can do with that. Christine, thank you. Yeah, she said, great. I get to look more crazy. Y'all are funny. Mercury goes into Sag and talks about what happened in Scorpio. Mars still there. So unexpressed anger, irritations come to light and get released like grudges. Brilliant. So what Terry is saying here is, here we are in Scorpio right now with Mercury and Mars. Let me put Mars on the screen. Look at this, you guys. Mercury and Mars in Scorpio. We're collecting stuff. Don't think you're not. We're remembering. That's Scorpio. Y'all Scorpios. Okay, I dissed Aquarians. Let me diss you for a minute. Y'all think, first of all, because you're fixed, you think what you feel is right. And you ignore everybody else's opinion about it because you're right. That's it. Case closed. You already know. Now, Aquarius do the same thing, but they do it with their mind made up thing about something. Scorpio's got a feeling. They get that feeling and it's sort of like, I'm trusting this. And no matter how bad that feeling leads them to prove that it isn't right, it was based on something else, they don't give that up. So that's where the fixed energy, that's where it happens. We're all doing that right now. I don't know where in your life you're doing it, but I've noticed myself too, making a decision really quick, going, I'm going to test this theory out. Okay. And we just watched the best horror movie. You guys, if you're into horror movies, I really enjoyed Weapons a lot. And the next morning we got together because we don't do a lot of horror movies and I can't do gory movies. This was really thoughtful. And it created a mythology. And the next morning we're like comparing notes. And I went to ChatGPT and said, why didn't Gladys blah, 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 blah. And it answered me like that's what you call, I don't know, that to me is a good movie. We're talking about it the next morning, like figuring out the logic and wanting to watch it again. I love that. I needed that so bad. But we also watched 12 Strong with Chris Hemsworth, which I really loved. I love telling you the movies that I've enjoyed, because it's literally about the war in Afghanistan, and they were told it was going to take 3 years. They did it in, I think, 2 weeks or something, whatever. They pulled this thing off. And it is sort of Americana, and it's sort of like the grit of these guys that did it, and the love between them. Really sweet story. So I don't know, if you need a little dose of that, there's that. If you want a little dose of horror, I recommend Weapons. And I'm sure you all have many other recommendations to make. I'm a big fan of Mike Flanagan, who did The House on Haunted Hill, I think, and Midnight Mass on Netflix. He rewrites the horror, and they're not scary. They're brilliant. They have text, they have context to them, amazing dialogue, and always a twist. And he doesn't rely on gore. So anyway, that's my little, see, this Scorpio time. This is Mercury and Scorpio telling y'all what horror movies to watch. Jeez. Okay. Now, yes, they're fun to rewatch, that's for sure. Thank you. Okay, you guys. So what Terry is saying is that we're collecting all this stuff, right? We're observing all the wounds, who treated you bad, who treated you good. Scorpio stuff, that's what Scorpios do. They don't forget, they misrepresent, and they change it in their mind, and then they hold on to it like they are God's gift to truth. And the reason I get to say that is because I do that. When I ran the store, people would come in. I had to be told by a customer, usually when you walk into a store, it's you who greets us. Oh, she was so right. I was like staring, going, are y'all gonna say hi? Like this, like so arrogant. But really, it's not. It was just dumb. It was ignorance. I didn't know. I'm like so Scorpio that I'm like watching and forget that I'm in the movie. So I learned. Now people would come in. Now if you came in, I'd be like, let's get some tea. You know what I mean? But forget retail. Those of you who are doing retail, I surrender. I bless you. You're amazing. You have to put up with it. You're amazing. I want people to put up with me. Don't be in retail if you can't put up with people. I should have gotten out about 2 years sooner than I did. But you don't, if you're in it, be nice. Find the good in people. And notice that fear looks like hate and anger. It can look like, ooh, I don't like you, but it's just fear. And sometimes if you get past that, that's what a good Scorpio does. They remember, oh, this is like, not everybody's feeling what I'm feeling. I got to rise up above that. That's what we got to do here. When Mercury goes into Sag, what Terry is saying, we're going to now express all those things we put together in our mind. We're going to be talking about it. So see if you can clear it up beforehand, because you don't want to be confronting people with a bunch of truth that you think is true that turns out it isn't true. You ever do that? I know some of you do. You ever do that thing where you just know why somebody did what they did? I have done that so many times, it's ridiculous. You just know why they did it. They don't like you. They resent you. That whatever it is. And then you go to confront them and it was like, oh, no. I was in the hospital for 4 days, or oh, I forgot. I didn't know. Whatever. You have to have room for the what if. That's why I can't own a gun. I can't, because I'm sitting there thinking there's another story here to be told. And I'm afraid that I'm going to make the final decision and it's going to cost me and it's going to cost them. And so I'm bad at that. I mean, I'm bad at that. I can't. I don't know. That's why, for me, that's why I can't. Y'all can. Y'all are smarter, people with a quicker mind. But all my things go in my head and go, well, maybe yeah. And I'd be a horrible soldier. Oh, thank you guys. You're loving on the store. Can fear be passive aggressive? It can look passive aggressive, but see, passive aggressive, you have to remember, is a psychological condition where they don't know they're being aggressive. Okay. and I would imagine so I wouldn't think it's conscious passive aggression. Passive aggression is like where somebody's allergic to peanuts, you're completely oblivious, you know it, but then you offer them a Snickers bar. And but you're mad at them deep down inside, you don't know that. And then you offer them a Snickers bar. And it's like, oh, that's passive aggression. Like, ooh. So maybe it can be fear is the source of fear. Is it? I mean, fear is the source of all of it, isn't it? I mean, isn't that why we lean into whatever it is we hold tightly is we're afraid? That's why people, they don't want to. That's why I say don't go to somebody who's going to make you afraid. But look how we get attracted to it. Do you know how many things I read about, like what's going on astrologically that are causing all this chaos and hurt and blah, 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 blah. People love that. They want to be afraid. I don't know why. I think fear helps you be prepared. But if you remove the fear, and that's one thing that I'm telling you, when the scales fall off your eyes and you're kind of open to hearing everything and being with everybody and seeing that everyone has a good heart somewhere, even though they have beliefs you may not agree to, when you can do that, oh my God, it's just sort of like your heart, because then you're not doing it to yourself. There's no need for passive aggression. You just I don't agree with that at all. I love the person. But let me understand me, and then the next step, let me understand maybe how you formulated that opinion. But we get so arrogant, and especially in the Scorpio times, I'm right. It is bad, and I want to do reaction videos with astrologers. I told you that. I'm going to play them behind me, and we're going to talk about. But I feel bad about that because I don't want to be attacking people who have certain beliefs unless I feel like they're so egregious they have to be taught a lesson here. That's why we don't do the death thing. I don't like the idea of you telling somebody what their death, like, here's when you're going to die. Oh my God. That's like horrifying. Why would you do that? And a point in the future that they can never erase from their head. Lots of death. However, you'll see how the person left. Jupiter transits are beautiful windows to leave, but it may not be a Jupiter on their sun. It might be it might be trining something. It might be a Neptune transit. It might be they leave in a dream. You never know how people choose to go. But what you can do, and that's why what do you care about? Don't look at that. Look at how you can live your life without guilt, fully. And one of the ways to do that is understand your chart. If you know your chart has a setup where you might tend to be paranoid, or you might tend to be more shy, or you might tend to be more extroverted, or might tend to be more need of attention, you have a vehicle, you have access to being a way to accept that. You have a way to bring it into understanding where you don't have to do anything about it. You just say, okay, I'm aware of that. And things change as a result. Okay, so I went to buy a QR code for the members. You know what that is? That square. They say aim your phone to it and take a picture. So I go to the website. I needed one QR code so it'd be like, I make it fancy, put my picture in the middle of it, of the site. And it said $19.99, billed annually. Yes. Okay, I can handle $20. Let me put it in. I'll do it. Like, support the company, blah, blah, blah. The bill. The minute I hit, let's do it, $239.88. I'm like, oh my Lord. This is the second thing y'all got on me, right? Where I let the person in my computer that 2 weeks ago, remember that? I had to change everything. Well, now I'm like, I just paid for a year of a service I'm never, ever going to use. And I'm pissed because I took a picture of that $19.99. So I immediately write them, canceled this. I will not use the service. I won't use the link. I promise I don't want this. And it was still pending. It was minutes after I did it, like seconds. I get a letter back. You gave us your card. You signed the terms agreement by agreeing is basically saying you agreed. I'm like, I'm going to ask you one more time. But here's the point. It's that all of a sudden the scales fall away. I don't care what they think of me. I don't care who I am. I just wrote and said, this is your last chance. I call the bank. We reverse the charge if you don't fix this. They said, sorry, our thing stands true. So I call the bank. First guy on the bank says, well, you did sign. I go, oh. Literally, that's how me on the phone. 6:30 in the morning, I woke everybody up. I'm like, whoa. Oh, say nothing else. Give me a supervisor. I don't want to hear another word out your mouth. This is me doing this. And he's like, sir, let me finish. I go, no, I don't want to hear another word out of you. I want a supervisor. This bank is going to have my back or it's not. Either way, give me a supervisor. Now, don't say another word. Just yes, sir, is all I want to hear. Now, I would never have done that in the past. Put my tail between my legs, be the little soft kid, like hope they'll be nice to me. I don't care. I ain't going to ever meet him. I need this fixed. I got it fixed. That's all I'm saying. Okay. Now, that used to not be the case until I understood astrology. And I understood the Saturn in me was keeping me from caring about what I wanted because I needed to care what y'all thought, everybody else in the world thought. That's the gift of astrology. Learn your chart, but don't fix it. Don't judge it. Don't think you know. Don't think you know anything about your chart, but learn it. Learn what's in there. And until you can objectively look at it and give a hug to every aspect of it, because you know the Magi people, I talk about them a lot. They don't pay more than $19 for this book you got. It goes in and out of print, but don't be paying $200 for it. Hay House wouldn't reprint it. You know how this whole story goes. They said your birth chart, for as much as they have things about the aspects and everything and the good times and bad times to do something, they said the one thing that is true, your birth chart is golden. It's yours to do whatever. It's like everything works perfectly for you in the birth chart itself. So don't look at your chart and think, I hate that I have that. I used to say, I hate my Saturn. I mean, I can see where my Saturn limits me from where other people aren't limited. I see that. It's in the first house. Well, how is it going to deal with it? But it is me. That is me. It's the way I put my brakes on. It's the way I do evaluation of myself. I would not be the same person were it not for that Saturn squaring Pluto my whole life. We can hate on it. If I saw it in somebody else's chart, I'd be like, that's a tough one. They don't experience it as tough. We don't go through our childhood at the moment going, dang, this is tough. We might, some things, but not usually. You know, when you're poor, you look at, this is the food you eat. You're not comparing it. Nowadays with social media, a lot of things can make you feel very envious of the lifestyle people have, right? And that's another thing that's in your chart. You have a way to get over that. You have a way to love on yourself through some of this. Let me see how y'all are doing. I'm resolving a similar situation. $500 fee in August. Still can't get it fixed. Ugh. Now, Laura, I get that. Every person is a miracle. Right on. Hey, Baba. Thank you, Dorothy. I miss the store, too. I miss y'all. Like, when we used to have moments sitting around talking, y'all were like, it was the best part of my life in so many ways. The best part of my life in so many ways. And meeting you was part of it. Now, what does run me? Yeah, I may not have gotten that charge fixed, but I'll tell you this. I did everything in my power to hold that idea that I knew for me that I needed to do. And I was ready to deal with the fact that I might have to eat it. Okay. And you might just have to eat it, but it's not about being mean. It's about being clear. It's about being understanding. It's about reaching that connection. Cause I asked the woman on the phone, from Chase, the very last call I made, do I have a case here, please? She said, we're going to do everything we can to back you up, but it does seem very legitimate to me. And that's all they can say, right? But the company reversed it. That's the end of the story I didn't tell you. The next morning, Monday, I got the reverse charge. Now I got 2 reverse charges. Now it's like, ding. Yeah. So I had to call Chase back and say, wait a minute. And they said, don't do anything. We'll take care of it from here. I said, well, I don't want y'all to think I tried to double dip. She's like, that's not how we work. Okay. Let me check. Let's get back on track here. We got 5 minutes. Cat's up next. Let me see what I need to tell y'all. Up and coming. Okay. It's up and coming. This is up and coming for the week. Let me go over it with you. Capricorn moon is all day tomorrow too. So today we're enjoying it, right? We know how to be sober, get get ready. Mercury in its last degree of Scorpio tomorrow. Do not forget that. So pay attention. People might be a little over the top with communication. Just pay attention. That's all I'm asking. Wednesday's when it happens, and then the moon flips into Aquarius. So we get a little lightness. After the second day of Capricorn, y'all will be like, oh, where's Aquarius? It's coming. When it happens, it comes in Tuesday night, but it happens. Now, if you aren't a member of Mark's Power Peak, please subscribe. 12house.com, 12house.com. Get on the mailing list. I swear to you, you get 3 things a week. A postcard, maybe 2 postcards, and the most amazing newsletter written today. Over 20 years, we've been writing this thing. C.A. Brooks tells us daily where the planets are, what's happening, but speaks it in plain English, right? Mo writes an article. Kelly Whetstone writes an article. Ginger writes an article. Beautiful, spiritual, uplifting. It's lovely. And none of it, and I don't control any of it. I let them decide what they want to say, how they want to say it, where they're going to say it. Okay? And they do. And bless them. We've had this thing. When I put it on Hay House website in 2001. Okay, 2001 was my first debut putting the Power Peak up on the website at Hay House. Crazy. Okay, I'm glad you got it resolved. Websites need to have another. Yes, they do. And they need to have, I need 24 hours to change my mind. Thank you. Thank you for loving the Power Peak, Bobs. Laura, I'm there too, Mark. I've been totally respectful and still hopeful. Great job. Thank you, Laura. That's so sweet. I love that. And good luck with yours, honey. I know. Good luck. Sometimes we just have to let it go, but you defend yourself and don't take the rhetoric. I wrote a letter the other day, got this sort of stupid answer back. It was wrote, and I said, hey, do me a favor, don't talk to me in that tone. I don't know what the hell. Because it was just a routine letter. It was like, well, we do our best to provide the best service. Like, I don't want to hear any of that. Just like be with me here right now. So I'm being a little bit of an a-hole. I'm kind of loving it. And as long as I don't feel guilty about it, I know I'm on the right track. Now, I mean, because I have a guilt monitor is what I mean, right? Okay, you guys, further, Halloween, we got Aquarius all day Thursday. We're going to be fine. Nothing big happening. This is a day to bring it in, you guys. This is a day to kind of breathe because we don't have new moons. We don't have that in conjunct with Chiron. I mean, we're being good. It is coming up, though. I'll talk about that. Friday is Halloween. All day we got Pisces. Changes at 4:46 in the morning. So Pisces on Halloween. A lot of people from our past. I bet the costumes are outrageous, okay? Be safe. It's a Friday. Be safe and be kind. Be kind. And I gotta, John gives out the candy to the little kids because I have Saturn in my ascendant and I'm horrible. I'm awkward. But I always in the background going, be nice to the kids. Compliment their outfits. Can you imagine how awful it would be to live with me sometimes? I got the dogs, though. I'm keeping them in the back. And I'm like, be nice. Compliment them. That's a beautiful outfit. That must have been really hard. So, and we're both awkward in our way. And so God bless him for being willing to give out the candy. Because I'm like, woo, I can't be smiling that much. My face will break. Okay, what else we got to have? Yes. Okay, you guys. All Saints Day, November 1st is Saturday. So I do send out free minutes if you're a member of 12listen.com, where the best intuitive advisors and psychics and astrologers are in the world. So, or at least a lot of them are. And that meaning that there's others who aren't on 12listen that are amazing too, I'm sure. I'm just not trying to be isolative. November 1st is Saturday, All Saints Day, all day Pisces. And guess what? We get our hour back of sleep on Sunday, Saturday at 2 a.m., which is Sunday morning. We get that extra hour back that they should never have taken. I don't care what y'all think. I don't care if you think it's lighter out later. They should never take that hour away from us. Move your own time. Don't mess with mine. Hey, Kat is coming up. Do I have anything? Y'all need to say anything before I leave? Yay, more sleep is right. Thank you, Liz. Thank you all so much for your love and support. You know, I don't know how to tell you how much I love you, but I do. It means the world to me that you are who you are and what you've been doing and how you support me. It's unbelievable. And don't think I don't go through every single morsel of insecurity that my brain can muster up. And I'm grateful to you for at least sharing this with me and let me be a part of your lives as well. We have more to come out. I can't wait to play with you, more live streams, etc. Thank you for being a part of this. Mwah. Okay, I'm signing out. I'm going to play the outro, and I'll see you next week. Stay tuned for Kat. There's her address up there.